Thank you, Madam President. Today, at approximately 3:15 a.m. local time, the Israeli military launched waves of airstrikes across Iran, targeting a number of locations, including residential areas in Tehran. These attacks, which are reportedly continuing this afternoon, have targeted Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps headquarters, military bases, radar installations, and nuclear facilities, among others. They have reportedly caused significant damage, including, reportedly, dozens of civilian casualties. In retaliation, Iran launched some 100 drones toward Israel, all of which were reportedly intercepted before reaching Israeli airspace. As I speak, there are reports of Iranian missiles heading towards Israel. The Israeli Defense Forces called the attack a precise preemptive strike and declared an imminent threat from Iran's nuclear program, while also announcing a domestic state of emergency. According to the IDF, over 200 Israeli Air Force aircraft were involved in the opening strikes, dropping over 330 munitions on some 100 targets. Multiple nuclear installations were struck, including in Natanz, one of the central sites of Iran's nuclear program. In a video message, Prime Minister Netanyahu said that Israeli forces also attacked Iran's ballistic missile capabilities and top Iranian nuclear scientists. He stated that the attacks were intended to ward off an existential threat, vowing that the battle would continue for, and I quote, as many days as it takes, end quote. The impact of these attacks has already been felt throughout the region, with neighboring countries closing their airspace and putting their security forces on high alert. The Houthis have reportedly launched missiles toward Israel, one of which has hit the occupied West Bank, causing injuries. Many regional leaders have condemned the attack as a flagrant violation of international law and an escalation that is pushing the region toward more conflict and tension. According to Iran's state media and statements made by Iran's supreme leader today, at least 4 top Iranian generals and 3 leading nuclear scientists were killed. A number of civilians have also been reportedly killed and injured. The supreme leader has promised severe punishment, and I quote, for Israel. Madam President, I reaffirm the Secretary General's condemnation of any military escalation in the Middle East. I also underline the obligation of member states not to use force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state, and in accordance with the UN Charter and international law. I reiterate the call by the Secretary General to both sides to show maximum restraint at this critical moment and to avoid at all costs a descent into deeper and wider regional conflict. Of particular concern is the strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. It has been reported that the Natanz enrichment complex, which houses both the fuel enrichment plant and the pilot fuel enrichment plant, suffered significant damage, including centrifuge cascade calls. The International Atomic Energy Agency resolution, adopted on 12 June, calls on Iran to meet its legal obligations and to fully cooperate with the IAEA to urgently remedy its non-compliance with its safeguards agreement. Finally, the latest dangerous escalation follows some significant diplomatic developments. Talks between Iran and the U.S. were to resume in Oman this weekend. I encourage such diplomatic efforts to continue. A peaceful resolution through negotiations remains the best means to ensure the inclusively peaceful nature of Iran's nuclear program. We must, at all costs, avoid a growing conflagration that would have enormous global consequences. Thank you, Madam President.